Probably that her and her husband were empty nesters, and that, you know, they had their baby in college, and it's like, okay, no, so now what do we do? Even though I have 2 children, it's still, I'm like, okay, so I got one on his way, and then here comes COVID, and now he's back home again. So it's like, okay, I'm having to restructure what I think every mother has expected for the 12 years that their child was, you know, that their children were in school. And what happens once your kid graduates from high school? It's like, okay, well, college is the next thing for most children. Not all, but I didn't go to college, but my son is in school. So we have to take this opportunity to redefine what family is, what it means, what it looks like. And we have to take the time to rethink our plan, because the world has changed and Black people have a platform right now. I don't think we're backing down. Black Lives Matter. We have to get justice for Breonna Taylor. We have to hold corporations accountable, unions accountable. There's no room for us to be treated unfairly, and it's intolerable. And I've lived through some of it, certainly not what the women lived through in the 60s and 70s during the Black Civil Rights Movement. But I will tell you that today, I'm so thankful that we are able to come together and to really try to ignite and institutionalize the idea of change, because we need it in this country. I don't know if I've been successful, but I definitely will address the big pink elephant in the room. Like, I just don't pretend like it's not there. I think I challenge people in my life to be the best version of themselves, because I want to be the best version of myself. And I think the thing that really bothers me the most is when people are passive aggressive. It's like you can feel that energy, and it's so destructive, because it just takes one uncomfortable conversation to get to the bottom of something so that you can move on and flourish, right? And so communication for me is not something that is optional. If you can't communicate, then I can't really invite you into my world on a super deep, meaningful level, because that's how you share experiences and learn. So I would say communication. I would say learn how to argue properly. Have some fun. Like, I think having a sense of humor when things are tough. Mm-hmm. Sometimes me and my kids, like, if it gets too intense in the house, I'm like, okay, everybody stop. Yeah. Put on some Megan Thee Stallion and let's go. Well, here's what I'll say. Black women spend the most money on products. And I was thinking about, why is it that we do that? Well, we do that because we're trying to find the thing that works for us. So Black women have to start supporting other Black products and companies and corporations, the ones that are pouring dollars into all these products that are geared towards white women. They need to start investing in Black products. Sephora's and the Targets, they need to have more representation of Black products, number one. Number two, the unions and SAG-AFTRA, the Academy, whatever it is that can make choices and have impact on the industry, it has to be mandated that there's more diversity in the hair and makeup trailer. Mm-hmm. It has to be, if I had the power, I would put it in my contract that my crew needs to be diverse. I don't have that kind of power. I don't. I wish that I did, but I don't. Mm-hmm. I'm going to ask for it. I don't think anyone can say no to that now. I think before they could gently hush that up and push it to the side. But right. I think all actors should put it in their contracts that the sets need to be, the crew needs to be diverse, because there are plenty of capable Black people who can work on sets. And it always breaks my heart. Like, I remember being on the set of Boys in the Hood, and the crew was all Black. Right, but that was John Singleton. He was he changed the game. Mm-hmm. And then I remember doing my next film, and I was like, oh my God, there's no Black people here. And then that was my experience from that point on. And so I began to think to myself like, oh, okay, I get it. So my first experience was my best experience. Well, I don't think Black men have had an experience or have had many experiences where they've been allowed to be vulnerable. I think in our community, we teach our boys, you know, don't cry, stop crying. Why are you crying? It's not necessary to cry. And we have to watch what we say. I encourage my boys to cry anytime they want to, but I do say to my younger one, like, okay, don't cry because you don't have the words to explain yourself. Cry because something in your heart doesn't feel good. But use your words so that you understand what you're feeling. And then if it hurts you, you can cry. But I ask for both. So it's not just crying in place of being able to explain and express himself, because it's equally as important to do both. Crying is a way of expression, right? So you need to have the words to back up why you're crying. And I don't know that as a Black, I don't know that our community has had the time and the nurturing to be able to even explain why it's important. Mm-hmm. We've had so many other things to combat. And, you know, we've always seemed to have the short end of the stick. So if we're just trying to survive, how can we, you know, you can't blame those older generations of women who'd be like, stop crying, boy, you don't need to cry. We can't blame them because they were just merely trying to breathe. So how dare you cry? I think now we're getting back to healing. Mm-hmm. We're trying to heal this next generation of young Black men and women to understand each other, to love more, to love deeper, to stand in solidarity for what we represent as Black people in this country, to redefine the Black family, and to have a sense of pride and responsibility for the future. So it's not just, well, I have all the materialistic things I want, so that we actually have ownership, that we are actually organized and institutionalized and have a plan for the future. I just want to produce really good movies. I want to act when I want to act. I want to age gracefully. I want to enjoy my children. I want to enjoy, you know, I hope I have grandbabies one day. I want to travel more. I want to, you know, climb a mountain and feel proud of myself. I want to go to Thailand and to Asia and to Bali and you know, I want to go to Japan. I want to travel. I really want to travel. And I was hoping to be doing that. I learn best through my experiences. I mean, you can read a book all day, which is also important and lovely, but I really love being immersed in a culture and certain things you can't, like historical things, obviously you have to read about, but I'm just a curious soul. Sweetback's Badass Song was a film by Melvin Van Peebles. Mario Van Peebles did a film called Badass, and I was in that movie. I mean, look, I am a Black woman, so anything I do is going to be a part of us. I try to pick characters that are, you know, some films are to make a point, some films are to purely entertain, some films are to evoke some sort of emotion, and whatever it is, my job is to just do it in the most honest way. Mm-hmm. Even if some of it seems, you know, like movie magic, but it's to do it in an honest way. And I hope that that's the thing that resonates and inspires us, because I remember when I came on the scene, there were not hardly any actresses who were brown skinned. It was me, Halle Berry, Jada Pinkett Smith, Sally Richardson, Regina King, and then when Gabrielle Union came on the scene, we were like, oh, a chocolate sister, we love it, you know, and then Sanaa, and then, you know, the group has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. We do. I think at the end of the day, if I see anyone being bullied in the press, I'm always there. I always make my comments. I always send them a little DM. Do we see each other every day? No, like that's not realistic. Everyone has their own lives. There is love and respect and a sense of community amongst all Black artists, whether it's spoken or unspoken. If there is a conflict, it will never be played out in public unless it's just a big blow up over something very specific. But I think we try to, you know, we are our own union for our own mission. And it's not orthodox, but I think we all know that at the end of the day, we are on the front line representing Black art. I have something that I just sold, but I can't talk about it yet. I'm mostly excited about my partners and the storyline. And, you know, the thing of it is I tell everybody, when you want something, put it out into the universe and pray on it and work towards it every day, and you will be surprised that it definitely comes back. I know it, to some people it sounds like, yeah, right, what are you talking? It works, but you gotta be consistent. The thing of it is, here's what bothers me. If you're a company and you just only want to cater to white people, God bless you. Go. Everybody has the right to do whatever they want to do. If I'm a Black company and all I want to do is cater to Black women, I have that right. But don't be a white company who says you cater to Black women and post our images on the front page of your website. And then when you have a client call in, the person who shows up to do her makeup does not have foundation for her complexion. That's not okay. And listen, if there's a white woman who can do my face beautifully or a white makeup artist who can do my face beautifully, I have no problem with that. I'm just saying it's more comfortable for me to have someone who looks like me making up my face. There are too many beautiful, talented Black makeup artists who don't get the opportunities. Yeah. So if I'm Black, my team should be Black. In terms of my hair and my makeup. Period, end of story. I don't need to have a reason why. That's what it is. And I'm not going to try to go, and I really, you know, I feel so strongly about it. And in terms of Glam Squad, here's what I think. I think everyone called them out. They ignored me. I had conversations with the executives where they made promises to, you know, do more education. I was like, listen, I'm not trying to be a whistleblower. I'll come in and even talk to your artist and give of my time. Because that's the only way we can make change, is if we educate one another. Oh, yes, we would love that. Oh my gosh. And nothing ever happened. So when they posted the blackout thing for Tuesday and everybody got in their ass, I did not feel sorry for them, because they were not accountable for the way they run their company. They are clearly misrepresenting who they are. And my thing is if you don't want to service Black people, then take us off your website and stop raising money from larger corporations to fund your small company, acting as if you are a company who is committed to representing diversity. because that's not who they are. Places where I used to shop never had Black people on their websites. Now everybody's Black. Okay, I love that. But is that white guilt? Is that white guilt? Are you trying to say that now I feel committed to being part of the solution rather than part of the problem? Is it propaganda? What is it? Because now I'm not really sure. Because if it was so easy for you to do it, why didn't you do it in the first place? Why didn't you have that consciousness before the shit hit the fan and the country fell apart? I'm not sold on any big corporate country raising their fist until I see action. Period. End of story.